Hi, it's Dr. Jamie here. I wanted to present a video for a little while now on a topic around how to support someone going through a difficult time. You know, in life we all go through difficult times, and we all have friends and loved ones that go through difficult times. And recently I had the experience where I was catching up with two close friends of mine, and one of them in particular went through a really difficult breakup that happened quite suddenly and quite unexpectedly. And so he was opening up, being really quite vulnerable and raw with myself and another friend of mine. And at one stage he actually started to tear up. And my other friend said to him, "Look, you know, don't cry, you're going to make me cry." And I thought about that afterwards. I thought about his response, and what that happened. What sort of effect that had on my other friend as well. And the tears that had started to form behind his eyes, they started to dry up, and there was his whole sort of demeanor started to change, and you could really see that he really started to kind of clam up a little bit. And this other friend in particular that had said to him, sort of, "Don't cry, you're going to make me cry." I thought about that response too, and this guy in particular is honestly one of the most caring and genuine people that I've ever come across as well. So really did not mean anything by that comment as well. But I did some reflecting on that, and thought, why is it that often when we see someone in pain and distress, that we'll often tell them those types of messages. I think sometimes in our haste to really sort of fix the problem, we do our friends and loved ones a disservice. Seeing someone that we love and care about in pain, it really triggers our own discomfort, our own anxiety, and I think that can really lead to an urge to try to fix the problem. In our haste to do that, I think sometimes we can really do our friends a disservice. I think that a lot of times the motives are pure, but maybe the method needs a little bit of tweaking. So what should we really be doing in that sense? If we see someone that is in a lot of pain, and kind of you can really see that they have something on their heart and on their chest that they're trying to get out, how do we encourage rather than discourage them to open up and to let it out in a healthy way, not to bury or kind of repress any of that stuff? I think first of all the very fact that they're opening up in that way probably says a lot about kind of the connection they have with you, the trust they have in you, and the depth of that friendship, relationship, whatever. I found that people don't tend to open up easily in life, even to therapists. I wish they did. And so for the very fact that people are opening up to you, that says a lot about your character. So kudos to you, because you've probably done a lot of really good things just to get to that stage. But I think one of the messages that we really want to send people implicitly and also explicitly as well is that your feelings aren't too big for me, they're not too big for you, we can get through this together. And so practically speaking, just kind of being there for someone, maybe placing a hand on their shoulder, letting them know, let it out, you can feel this, and just sometimes just being there for them. I often find that one of the times in session when I'm with clients that I'm actually really silent and don't do much or say much at all is in the middle of someone processing through a lot of really heavy sort of grief, because in that moment having a physical presence, it really, that's enough. Sometimes kind of speaking in those moments can kind of really sort of put a dampener on those feelings. We know that we're certainly not born with these ideas that emotions are weak, or that kind of people will judge me for feeling my feelings. We're not born with these ideas, but a lot of us have these ideas because of the different experiences that we've had throughout life that have often been quite negative. So why don't we see if we can give people some new experiences so that they can have new and healthy ways of expressing their feelings. So I do hope that this short video has been helpful for people out there, and really next time that you see someone that is in kind of a little bit of pain, a little bit of sadness, do give this a go. Do see how you go with, just being there, for your friends and loved ones, seeing if you can just notice your own anxiety and your own discomfort, and in spite of that, just continue to have a soft, calm, gentle sort of presence with your friends. Don't feel the need to kind of, sort of fix their problem, or to make them stop crying or anything like that. It is very, very healthy to feel feelings, and it's the suppression of feelings which often does lead to a lot of psychological, emotional, and other difficulties in life. So I do want to do some more videos on psychology and mental health related topics. I hope this one's been helpful for you. If there are specific questions or topics that you want to know more about, do let me know. Send me a comment or send me a message, and I'd love to do what I can to kind of talk on some of that stuff, and hopefully create some resources out there that are helpful for you guys. So thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.